check out this beast of a knife. Look how thick it is. This is like 350 grams of 1095 steel for about 55 Australian dollars, currently at cuttingedgeknives.com. As an aside, I would somewhat recommend Cutting Edge Knives. They have a very bit of a blasé customer service, wherein you not quite know when you're getting a knife, if it's in stock, but you order it and it arrives eventually. It arrives in the next couple of weeks. So if you're happy with that, you can really get some of the better, more rare knives in Australia. And these really aren't too common in Australia. This is the SCHF36 by Schrade. It's marketed as a bushcraft sort of type survival knife. Which is a bit funny when you compare. This is what I imagine as a bushcraft knife, and look at the two of them. It's like a hammer compared to a toothpick. You know, that's interesting. It's designed with some input by some YouTubers. I think might even be Prepared Mind 101 or Mantis Outdoors or something like that. So it's been used. It's been designed by people who carry these sorts of knives a lot. And there's a couple of longer versions of one with a sort of sloping down long clip point. This is the one I chose because it's sort of like a Becker BK2 Lite, I believe. It's about the same size and shape. Just compare it to some other knives. This is the BK17 from the Tweeners line. So that's quite a small little, just 4-inch blades. This is about 4.5-inch cutting edge and a 5-inch blade or so. This is next to the Gerber Strong Arm. Again, just a little bit lighter. The Gerber's way more agile in hand. Feels like a lot different knife, really. Like you could probably put this into a defensive role if you wanted to. Very, very agile. This is heavy. This is blade heavy. It's got a thick drop point. Doesn't start even dropping till about there. And like that tip is like a triangle still. Just insane. This is next to a K-bar. Same steel, probably twice the price, maybe even 3 times the price. K-bar USMC. Same kind of materials, pretty much as Untitled 1095. This one's full tang, this one isn't. Like, it's such good value. This is it next to. This knife was $35 for this much 440C. That's $55 for that much 1095. Like, very, very cool. Very well done, Schrade. So, just my initial impressions. I've used it a little tiny bit. It's really comfortable holding it like this and doing slicing on your wood. You can get quite thin shavings, even though it's such a thick knife. A bit like the Falcon, even if you know how to use it right, you can make it do all the same tasks as your really sort of delicate little bushcrafty blades. Really good chopper. It feels like a little axe in your hand because it's so blade heavy. Like when I hold this and I hold like the S-Wing hatchet, there's really sort of a similar feeling. Obviously you've got more length, so you can get more done with the S-Wing, but sort of their weights aren't dissimilar. It's crazy. This is probably about 100 grams heavy. This will be getting towards 500 grams. This is mid 300s, I think, 350, 360. But still, very much starting to feel like one of those dual knives. People who, and I think the target person for this is someone who's not religiously into knives like I am. Not that people, I think every knife collector should try at least one of these Schrades to see what all the talk's about. But the best people this is for like, say you know someone who's going like on a full driving trip or something, or going away and they haven't even thought that they might need a knife. This would be a great knife for them. They can keep it in its pretty cheap sheath. That won't trouble them because they probably won't use it as much. And it can just sit in their survival kit or sit in there. A good place for this sort of things is your spare wheel arch, somewhere like that, and just it'll be there if they need it, and it will be just indestructible. And people who don't know knives feel confident when they feel something heavy. Like heaviness equates to quality a lot with people in knives, and especially when they're not particularly, when they don't live the knife life. So that'll put them at ease as well. Nice thick spine. It would split like an absolute trooper. I haven't split with it yet because I don't really split a great deal. But it shaves, it chops, it just feels nice to have. It's a good feeling knife. A couple of little issues with the sheath, fair enough, but they could bloody not even put a sheath with it, it'd still be a great deal. Just for that, just for those raw materials, the Zytel and the 1095. Comes with a Sharpening Stone, which is pretty cheap, sort of Schrade branded thing. Thin little plastic loop there. About 400 grit, sharpen up on the spot. Comes with a ferro rod that feels okay. I think it's the same one that goes in those axes and stuff. The ones that sort of plop up in the bottom of those Schrade axes they do. It doesn't shower sparks, but yeah. The spine of the knife is squared off, but you would need to, oh no, it does shave. Oh, it shaves well too. That's cool. Geez, that's how you do it. Screw the striker, chuck the striker in the bin. Let's do that now. Chuck the striker in the bin and just use the knife. Bugger that. So even with the coating, that squared off spine really sharp sparks, so that's cool. The coating's coming off straight away, which is good too, so that won't take too much scrubbing to get off with the paint thinner. Overall, I think this really is a knife for everyone. Not so expensive that the collectors will hate they've spent money on it, and it's cheap enough for everyone to just buy, even if they're not that keen, just for kit items. If there is a survival kit knife, a dream survival kit knife, this is probably it. Does just about everything pretty well. Schrade SCHF36. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. This knife has a sheath that's serviceable. It attaches to your leg via this strap, so it moves with your waist and your hip. Knife retention is good. There is, however, some issues getting the knife intuitively back. It's almost as if this liner is a little bit too narrow, or this part of the blade catches on the liner, so you kind of have to fiddle it back in sometimes. Overall, it's a cheap sheath, but it is par for the course when you're paying mid $50 for such a great knife. That's the way once you get the hang of it. Quite nice seeing that it is such a tank of a thing. Doing that really does help with control.